Welcome back to some of you, and welcome in general to High Vibes, Low Tolerance. Let's get into it. My name is Lindsay Wolf, and I am your host. I am drinking on the job today because, oof. So it's been a little bit since you have heard from me. And as you can tell, I am by myself. And this podcast started as a collaborative effort and project. And I'm so grateful for the conversations between me and my co host. However, moving forward, this is what you got, babe. This is a solo situation as far as hosts go now. The podcast was always evolving, always changing, and always growing, and it still will be. And this is where we are right now. So I will absolutely share about that experience with you because one of the things that has been most important to me as far as what I had as a goal for this podcast was that I would be sharing from a very present and authentic place in my life. However, when there are other people involved, like I, of course, want to be respectful and handle it with as much grace as possible. But I also want to like give you guys the tea, but all in due time, you know? So here we are. And I'm really excited about the future. You know, when this first started, one of the ideas and like stepstones that was on the list of getting to was having guests. And I very much plan on having guests in the podcast. We are approaching this with fresh eyes, but still with the same hopes and goals. And that is to have honest conversations, real opinions in real time. And I'm so excited. I like to talk about the things I love. I like to talk about the things I hate. I like to talk about what's going on in pop culture. Like I said, this started as a collaborative effort between myself and my previous co host. I still want that feeling of like you're just here hanging out with me and Chai. And also, like, I'm hearing from you. I want to know what you guys want to talk about. Like, what's going on in your own friend groups? What's going on in your daily life? Like, what's it like to be, whoever you are in the place that you are right now? So, having said all of that, I am really excited to continue this podcast, to continue these conversations, and we will see where it goes. Okay, so on my topic list for today, I have a few things. One is a really significant experience that I just went through, and I want to talk about it. And I know that so many other women my age have gone through this. And this isn't the first time I've experienced something like this, but it definitely, it's the first time I've experienced this, like with where I'm at right now, obviously. I have recently had to have two really important conversations with friends. They were completely unrelated. One of them was like with some pretty big stuff. We have known each other for years. Our families are extremely intertwined. It's been like a whole thing. Like we've been very, very close. And we still are. But we had to have a conversation that was a little overdue. And some stuff was going on from my end that I like really wanted to address. It was like not sitting right with me, right? So I had that conversation. And then I had another conversation with another friend who, from my perspective, not a lot had happened. However, there was a series of things that were being presented to me that were unfolding that had shown that there had been some like manipulation, some dishonesty, some like weird kind of shady stuff that involved me. And I was very unclear as to why it was happening or if it was even happening at all. And so I had to have that conversation. So Wednesday night, I had to have a conversation with one of them. Thursday night, I had to have a conversation with the other one. And when I tell you, having the dichotomy of these two very important conversations with two women that I'm very close with and hold in high regard, how one of these conversations went one way and the other a total opposite direction, it kind of fucked with me. It was literally like I felt it in my body. The first conversation I had on Wednesday, it was from both sides approached and handled with so much respect and love and grace and honesty. And it was a hard conversation going into it. There were tears, but we came out of it with like so much love. And like, I feel closer to her now. And I would hope that she does as well. But it was a conversation that like really needed to be had in some real stuff, like deep rooted stuff, right? That had gone on and existed between the two of us and other dynamics that we like just needed to air it out. And so I'm so grateful because I also like was going into that conversation, with anxiety and like a pit in my stomach. Like I don't want to have conflict or misunderstandings, but they definitely happen. And when you are met with someone who is willing to approach conflict with you from a place of finding a solution, it is so valuable. And if you have those people in your life, whether they're your significant other, whether they are one of your closest friends, hold on to them and always just like cherish them and put them in your pocket and keep them as close as possible because that is really valuable. And it really shows that they are really working with you to find solutions and handling things with a certain amount of respect and grace and love is just so important. The other conversation. Oh my goodness, everybody. It didn't go the same. It didn't go the same. I can tell you all that from my end, I was approaching it, especially since I just had the conversation on Wednesday, right? I was approaching it with the same energy, finding a solution, calm, honesty, respect, love. And I was not met with the same. Let me tell you, I have actually never been in a situation before where I have had a friend talk to me in the way that this friend did. And it was incredibly shocking. It was incredibly disturbing. And I left that 20-minute conversation just shaking for like 2 hours. Woke up the next day, felt it in my body. I was so tense. I was so sore. I was like, of course, open my eyes. It's the first thing on my mind. And it was so disappointing and it was so clear that there was nowhere to go. And I will say that, like, friendship breakups are really difficult. You're also approaching friendships like when you first meet a friend, you are like really going into it with such a different level of trust than you do with like significant relationships, right? Like you're going into it wanting to connect with this person and wanting to kind of like share your deepest, darkest secrets and choosing to do that. And it's like a different level of intimacy with your platonic friendships versus romantic relationships. Romantic relationships get so complicated and convoluted because there's romantic energy, there's sexual energy, and honestly, all of that shit just fucks everything up. And I honestly feel like my friendships, that's why I'm not dating right now because my friendships are those are like those significant relationships in my life right now, my platonic friendships. And I really value them. And I have had some friendship breakups as an adult where they've really messed with me. They've really affected me, but not once have I looked back and been like, wow, I really miss that person. And the only reason I know in my heart and my soul that that feeling exists is because they were not aligned with where I am, in my path, and where I'm going. So I have a friendship that ended because there were boundaries crossed, there was trust broken, there was a lack of respect that was presenting itself on so many fronts that I had to stand on business like Justin Bieber. I had to. The other friendship is very much intact and is so much stronger. And I'm so grateful and I'm so happy that I can continue to have this friendship on a new level of closeness and honesty and trust and respect and grace. And oh my God, I just like really wanted to talk about that with you guys because A, it's just where I'm at. It's literally been like where I've been operating from this last week. And I'm finally in place. Like I woke up today and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I let it get off my body. I moved my body today. Yesterday, I literally couldn't move my body because it was so stuck in me. So I'm good now, and I was really eager to get on to record the podcast because friendship breakups are something that is like intense and it's different than a significant other romantic relationship. I recently came across a TikTok because, of course, I'm going through all of this. And then I'm like on TikTok and ChatGPT looking for like, what is happening? How do I handle this? What do I say? Am I okay? But I came across an idea from a creator on TikTok who was talking about how if you want to know basically how someone values you as a friend, is how they are in a conflict, and that you actually don't know someone too well until you've had a conflict or until you've had something like where you disagree or like you have to hash it out, right? And how they choose to navigate that will show you how much they care about you. And if that does not go well, it's really just giving you a mirror on how they view themselves. And that is something that resonated with me because I'm just like, for sure, that's just true. That's just true. If somebody is coming at you when you're really trying to find a solution, right? And they're coming at it when they want to be combative, it really gives you a little peek onto the conversations that they have with themselves. And it's not really a friend. Like, if somebody cannot handle a difficult conversation with you, that person might not be your friend. I really just feel like there are a lot of people who only like the friendship as long as they feel good about it. As soon as you bring up something that makes them feel not good about themselves or not good about the friendship, all of a sudden you're painted as a problematic person or a danger to them, and they're gonna fucking fight you. And really, that's just so crazy because really, all that you did was bring up something that maybe they didn't want to hear, and they're gonna go hyper defensive mode on your ass. And you better have your armor on, you better have your Diet Cokes, you better have your wine, you better have your dog, you better have a pillow to cry in when you get home because that shit is brutal. I'm sad and disappointed about a friendship ending, but I'm also relieved because I have Capricorn in 5 placements. I talk about this on the podcast. So a lot of you guys know, but like I am not one to just like fuck around and find out, like keep gambling with it. If you fuck around, you do find out. And the place I am in my life, like I'm a single mom, I'm living the life I've always wanted to live with a cost. If you are not coming at me with honesty, trust, love, grace, respect, you can't afford it. You hear? I have had other friendships where I remember one time one of my oldest childhood friends, we broke up because she got married. And I was really poor at the time. I was living in New York City. I had Lola as a baby, and I was supposed to fly out to California to do her hair and makeup for her wedding. And I was really excited. It was costing me so much money that I did not have. I was also not working at the time. I was living with Lola's dad. We were trying to do this co-parenting relationship thing that was doomed from the very beginning. Someday I will actually share that story with you. That's actually a really good idea for the podcast episode because every time I start that story, people are like, Lindsay, write a book. But I was living in New York City and my childhood best friend was getting married. I was like 26. So I think she is around 26 as well. She's getting married in this like little town in California. I'd never met her fiance. And I had agreed to do her hair and makeup, like no charge. Like she's my best friend. Like I wanted to do that for her. And I bought my bridesmaid dress. I had bought my flight and I had rented a car. It was getting pretty close to the wedding. And when we had been discussing the terms of where I would be staying, it was in this little town in Northern California. And she had told me, I don't even remember her fiance. I think they're still married, but girl, I don't even know because we literally have been no contact ever since. Like, never spoken a word to each other after this story. So, whatever the fuck his name was or is, he had a family home in that area. That's where we would be getting ready. That's where my ex friend was staying and all of that. And I was invited to stay at that house, his family home. And I was like, oh my God, that's so great. And that had been discussed like really far in advance. Like we had talked about that stuff a lot earlier. So that was the plan that I would stay with her at his family home's house instead of spending money on a hotel or the bed and breakfast or whatever. And I literally, you guys, I was dirt poor. I had a newborn baby. It's getting closer to the wedding, and I get an email from my friend. And she told me that it's no longer an option for me to stay at whatever the fuck his name is home. They don't have space. There was like, I honestly don't remember the details, that I was no longer able to stay. And so I responded and I was like, hey, like that sucks so bad. I literally don't have any money to pay for a hotel room. Is there anything we can do? Like, I'm open to hearing, like, if there's any other option, but girl, I really can't spend any more money on this wedding. What can we do? Right. That was the conversation. And that was my only goal. I wanted to be there. I was so excited. Nothing had happened between us. On my end, my perception of things, nothing had happened to where I like would be disinvited to staying in the home. I was still in her wedding. I was still doing her hair and makeup. Like nothing had happened. It was just like something like I think they just overbooked the house with relatives and I was no longer able to stay. So I was really just approaching it from like, how do we figure this out? Because I don't have any money. And I got an email back. It was from my friend's email address, but her fiance wrote it. And he said, hey, Lindsay, as far as working things out, you're not welcome to stay in the house, but I can pitch a tent for you in the backyard and you can stay there if that's what you want. Hello? He told me I could camp out in his family's backyard because I couldn't pay for a hotel, but I was not welcome to stay in the house. And that was the first time I had to stand on business with a close friend in my adult life. And I was like, count me out. I'm not coming. I felt like that was so disrespectful, but I didn't go. I didn't go to the wedding. I lost a lot of money on that flight, the rental car, the dress. I was destroyed. I lost my friend. I never talked to her again. She never reached out. And I think the thing that hurt me the most with that one was that not even what her piece of shit fiance had to say to me, someone he had never met, but that she didn't have enough respect for me to even communicate with me directly. And then I got that message, and that was really hurtful. And that was the first time that I had a friend break up as an adult. And it really messed with me for like a significant amount. There's been a couple other friend breakups that I'm like, wow, you get older and people really do be dropping off. My friend Jessica from Montana, she listens to the pod. Shout out, Jessica. We have been friends since before my dad died. And my dad died when I was 6. And I'm actually going to FaceTime her and have drinks with her after I'm done recording. Even though I'm in LA and she's in Montana, we're gonna like have a little hangout. And she has been a lifelong friend. I mean, there was sleepover dates when I was 5, 6 years old with this girl. I moved in with this girl for a short time when I was pregnant because I had nowhere to go. I like we are so close and we're so connected. And there has been times like for sure we did not see things the same way, but I'm so grateful. And my other friend, Jessica, I have been friends with her ever since I was living in Ohio. And she's going to be here in October to see me. And we've been through a lot together. She was my rock during my marriage, which ended in divorce. Thank God. We've been through trauma together. She's been through trauma. She's been through medical things. We've been there for each other. I'm so grateful for my friend who I spoke with on Wednesday, where we just had a really positive conversation. We're able to be closer. And I think honestly, I'm going to wrap up the episode because they've been yapping and I'm literally so hungry. But if there's anything I can leave you with, it is that gratitude will save you. Gratitude will change your life. If you want to manifest positive friendships, be grateful for the ones you have. I'm so grateful for the lessons and I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm excited to bring in guests and other opinions. I appreciate everybody listening, everybody chiming in. Please like and share and comment. Actually, comment. Will you guys please comment and please tell me what you want to talk about? Because that is the collaborative effort I see moving forward. I want to hear it like so desperately. Hit me up on socials. You can email me at High Vibes Low Tolerance. You can also comment on the ratings for like Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. I am there. Let me know what you think. Let me know how the podcast resonates with you. If you hate it, please don't leave a review. That would be so mean. But if you love it, let me know. But until next time, me and Chai, hope you have very high vibes. Bye.